Welcome to E3 with John Gunn. So I want to challenge and encourage everybody to invite someone to come on now and be a part of this amazing experience. We are so excited about the opportunity to share space with you. So welcome everybody. I just kind of popped on. I normally do a countdown, but today I just kind of popped on. So please join us now. And invite someone to participate and be a part of what's happening today via E3 with John Guns. So thank you all for those of you who are starting to come on. Please invite others to join us tonight. I've got some amazing things that I'm going to be sharing tonight. And so I don't want anybody to miss it. I don't want anybody to not take advantage of this, because I really believe that at the end of it all, you're going to be better. I'm going to be better. We're going to be better. So welcome to E3. And again, invite others to share, invite others to join us. And yes, good evening, everyone. And we're excited today about what we're going to share today regarding living in success. I want to talk about living successful. Now, to be very transparent, that is pretty much the primary theme of E3. It's about living successful and about walking out the things and the purpose that you feel we're responsible for. And so everybody get pen, paper. I'll get your device ready. I'm gonna lay out some things for you, and we're just gonna talk about living successful tonight. Okay, not gonna be long. But hopefully it will be helpful. Let me give you a definition for success, because I think the first thing everybody's got to understand is that success is possible, right? Success is possible. So let me give you a definition for success. Being successful is about the achievement of desired visions and planned goals, okay? Let's make sure everybody get this. It's about the achievement of desired visions and planned goals. Everybody put in the thread, so I know that you're tapped in. Put in the thread, success equals achievement. Put in the thread, success equals achievement. One of the first things that you got to understand is that success is not defined by everyone else. Success is ultimately defined by you. Success begins with inwardly you defining and determining goals that are consistent with the evolution of your identity. Okay, let's make sure we get this. Success is about the achievement or the accomplishment of goals that are consistent with your sense of inner identity. Inwardly, as I begin to evolve as a person, and I evolve through crises, I evolve through experiences, I evolve through, the presence of mentors, I evolve through a number of things, right? But success begins with how you define who you are, or how you're coming to understand who you are. When someone recognizes that success begins with who you are, then every other aspect about your life should line itself up with the emergence of the clarity of identity. Okay, I really need you to understand this. Sometimes the key to you discovering who you are is the rejection of people who you thought were supposed to be your future. Sometimes the clarity of who you are is a mistake that you make. And within the mistake you discover some things that teaches you what you really want your life to look like and what you really feel like you ought to be committed to. Sometimes success and this identity of success, this success identity comes from following through some things you thought was supposed to be your purpose in life, and you discover in following through that was only a prelude to you accomplishing what you have been created to accomplish. Success is amazing because the person who ultimately gets this will understand that no experience is wasted. So that's the first thing I want you to understand about success. No experience is wasted. No matter how painful it is, no matter how challenging it is, no matter how difficult it is, no matter how much it stretches you, no matter how much it causes you to even doubt, no experience is wasted. And so a part of what you've got to be able to do is to make yourself a student even while you're a practitioner. You have to make yourself a student while you're living out life so that your experiences become teaching tools. Because what you don't want to do is go through something that doesn't make you better, right? A divorce, loss of a job, the loss of a loved one, mistakes, tough financial seasons, health conditions, whatever it is, right? Every experience brings with it purification, clarity, and vision. Every experience brings with it purification or cleansing. It brings with it clarity, and it brings with it vision or future. And so when we talk about being successful, we're talking about the achievement of desired visions and planned goals. I want to suggest to you then two things right here, right, that you can write down. To key to being, to having a desired vision, to me, is the release of your past, right? Let me say something I think is profound. The release of your past may actually be a present experience. Okay. Oh my goodness. Okay. The release of my past may be something I'm presently in. And the responsibility that I have to myself is to release myself from something I'm in that is not future. Okay. You got to be able to release yourself from something you're in that has no future attached to it. Because at some point, you can't keep living in your past when it is your present, but it's not your future. That's where clarity comes in. Because now you start to make adjustments and you start to reshape and redefine who you are. And as a pastor of a church, I am releasing some things that was not only, pre-pandemic. I'm releasing some things that were pandemic in behavior. And I'm understanding that even while I may be doing it right now, it has no future. And so I am transitioning out of it even while I'm going through it. I'm transitioning out of it. I am releasing myself from the behavior or for some of the practices. And this comes, and you can do this when you become clear. When it becomes clear something is not your future, then you start to make different, you start to adjust. But the adjustment is not to compensate for what's lost, it's to build for what's coming. Man, don't miss this. You are not compensating for what's lost. You go through a bad relationship, you're not compensating for the relationship. You're now building for what's next. What's next for you? This idea then of clarity is key to success. I know what I want to accomplish, but here's what's more important. I know who I want to be. I know who I want to be. And I know what I want to be, right? I know who I want to be. I know what I want to be. And so I'm going to work towards favorable outcomes. I'm going to work towards favorable outcomes. Everybody put in the thread, favorable outcomes. I'm going to work towards the outcomes that are favorable for me and for the people I love. I'm going to, so any adjustments I make, I'm making for favorable outcomes. Any adjustments I'm making because, to be very transparent, I have a future and I want this future to come to pass. And so I'm going to do what I need to do. So I'm going to become clear about me. Here's what's amazing. If you are authentically committed to success, you're going to always be in a posture of coming to know you. If you are authentically committed to success, you're going to always be in a posture of coming to know you. There's a word that I've embraced in this pandemic and coming out of it, and the word is emergence. Because I believe that at the end of the day, anyone that's going to be successful has got to be a person that's always emerging, always becoming, always growing, always moving. So let me say some important things to you then about how success occurs. And a lot of times I'm saying some of the same things from week to week because there are some basic principles that I want you to learn from me, and I want you to trust. Okay, here it is. One of the keys to success is how you leverage relationships. Now, when people hear leveraging relationships, they automatically see that as a negative. Some do. But I want you to understand the power of what I'm saying. The secret weapon of your life are relationships. That's the secret weapon. The strength of your life is how strong and healthy and vibrant your relationships are. Watch this. I love this quote. It's become one of my favorite quotes. It says, personal relationships are the fertile soil from which all advancement, all success, all achievement in real life grows. Personal relationships are the fertile soil from which all advancement, all success, all achievement in real life grows. One of the most incredible things is to watch someone who has figured out relationships. I was talking to a rather powerful and successful man in the city, and he made this statement to me, and the statement has just settled in me. And the statement was, I don't have any recognizable skills. I get paid because I do relationships. I get paid because I do relationships. I think that one of the challenging things, and this is going to be one of two or three spiritual references. One of the challenging things that the enemy attempts to do is to make us relationally damaged, so that we can't interact with people who are built to help us experience promotion. Let me say it again. You go through a bad relationship, the ultimate outcome of the enemy is to damage you. It's to make you cynical, hard to relate to, make you unattractive emotionally, to bring you into all of these unhealthy places, make you a person who is judgmental, make you a person who spends their time looking at the negative, makes it so that every time that you have a new possible relationship, you bring a wounded you to a whole beginning. You bring a wounded you to a whole, H-O-W-H-O-L-E. You bring a wounded you to a whole beginning. The beginning of a thing is whole. It has amazing possibilities. It has amazing opportunities embedded in it. And you bring a wounded you to a whole relationship, to a whole opportunity. You enter the new job, but you're damaged from previous relationships, and you come in suspicious and cynical and unavailable. And then you wonder why the relationship isn't working for you, why the new environment isn't working. One of the things I want to say to everybody that's listening to me is that you have to have the courage to go through a healthy season where, you ready? Where you are disconnected for a season. But the disconnection is not to be disconnected, it's to be whole. So when you are reintegrated into healthy space or in the possibility space, notice what I said, possibility space. Get this, possibility space. Everybody put that in the thread, possibility space. It's where God puts you in an environment where the possibilities exist, but they may not come to pass because if you're too damaged to be functional in relationships. If you're too damaged to be functional in relationships, what's going to happen is that you're going to find yourself always getting not everything you can get from it. It's like there's all this stuff you can get from this, and you're kind of not good at the mature aspects of relationships. You know, you're kind of not good at the mature aspects of relationships, right? You're just kind of not good at it. You do okay for a little while, and then something happens and you get mad, and then you're back to anger or you're back to misery. And you're back to distance. You go, what's wrong? And the first thing we do is that we blame everybody else, right? We blame everybody else. Oh, this person got this way, and this person is this way, and they did this to me. But until you take ownership for your relational dysfunction, I took ownership, and I'm still taking ownership for my relational dysfunction. My wife married a man that had some real pain. Right. And sometimes in my relationship to her, I gave away the wrong thing. I showed her unhealthy, I showed her some unhealthy things. I made a decision. You ready? I made a decision. I wanted to be whole relationally. Two things, man, I do sense the Spirit talking to me tonight. Two things, and you can put it in the thread, but you can also put it in your heart and put it on paper, whatever. Two things are necessary here. Here's the first one. Discipline of bad habits, right? Discipline of bad habits. Here it is. I used to raise my voice when I got mad, right? I would raise my voice, and it would kind of naturally happen. I raised my voice. I saw the impact it had on my wife, and I became angry at myself. Watch this. I became angry that I was affecting her. Okay. Don't tell me you love somebody and you're okay hurting them. Okay. So I started, and Ann and Violet, Brittany, I see some of your names, Diane, Sharon. I started disciplining my tone, right? And so the moment I would start to raise my voice, I had built into my psyche to be aware of it, right? I built in my psyche to be aware of it. So I started pulling back, right? And it took discipline, because sometimes I would be on 10 emotionally, but I knew I couldn't be on 10 verbally. So I had to balance, you ready? Being absolutely angry and yet not manifesting that anger in a way that it gave off the wrong thing. And so I found myself working on it. And with my wife, she was the first one I got better at doing this. And then came other relationships. So now I don't easily or quickly move to that tone. I don't easily or quickly move to that tone. Now I no longer want that tone. I no longer want that tone. It is now something that I disdain about myself. So because of something I now disdain, I no longer desire it, and I'm seeing how it benefits me. And so the benefit, oh my goodness, the benefit of being relationally healthy is that now I walk in different spaces and I can manage different types of relationships and different levels of authority. So I may walk in a relationship where I'm the authority, but then I may walk in another relationship where I'm not the authority. So because I am becoming relationally healthy, I can now be the leader, but I can also be the follower, and neither contradicts my nature. My authenticity is not imbalanced because of it. All of you are amazing people, and all of you have the ability to accomplish this, but it begins with disciplining bad habits. But the first thing you got to do is that you got to acknowledge it's a bad habit. Admit it, because only in admitting, okay, this is not good, this is not healthy, watch this, and this does not benefit the relationships I'm in. This does not benefit. Why? Because at the end of the day, there are going to be some relationships that are going to come. I call them relationships of promotion, right? They're going to be relationships that come, but I'm going to have to be able to be so functional until I can manage all of the relationships that are coming. Are y'all getting this tonight? Because ultimately, I am better relationally, and I don't have to always be the most gifted, most talented person in the room, right? I don't have to be. But if I'm best at relationships, people will help you because they like you. People will help you because they regard you. I saw this weekend for a program we have called Bridging the Gap. It's all a relationship built program. Everything that has happened between the first cohort of Bridging the Gap, which is a program bringing police and African-American males together, to the second cohort, which looks totally different from the first one, is that the relationships that we've built are working for us to accomplish the things that need to be accomplished. Your vision, y'all ready? Your vision is going to be unleashed because people are going to feel burdened to help you. Your vision is going to be unleashed because people are going to feel burdened to help you. They're going to feel so ready to assist you. They're going to feel they're going to feel like it's their responsibility to help you accomplish your dream. Wow. They're going to be so vested in you till they're going to be like, man, what can I do to help you achieve your purpose? I guess about 20 years ago, maybe, I don't know, give or take, Sharon Grant, who was my executive assistant for a number of years and did transition to be church administrator, the way she became my executive assistant was that her and her husband and their children joined the church, and she was transitioning careers, and she said to me, I don't know how we got to this, right? But she makes this statement to me. The statement still today, she says, I feel compelled to help you. She said, I've been watching you, and I feel compelled to help you. I never made Sharon help me. God gave her a heart for me, right? There are people who have what you need, and they're going to give it to you because they have a heart for you. But if you're relationally unhealthy, and I can finally say that I'm in an amazing space relationally. I'm in an amazing space relationally. And because I'm in an amazing space relationally, I'm seeing so much stuff line up and fit and be accomplished, right? Okay. Here's the second thing tied to that I want to help you with. Successful people are people who can balance self-confidence and ego. There has to be a sense that you believe in yourself. I don't think God has ever, I don't think God gives us permission to have low self-esteem. Low self-esteem is not your ally. It's your enemy. And that's why you got to be careful who you're relating to and who you invest influence in, because if they can affect your self-esteem, they can affect the other aspects of your execution. Because watch this. What's up, AD Roberts? Watch this. Low self-esteem always leads to inactivity and paralysis. Low self-esteem always leads to inactivity and paralysis. It does. Even if you're a busy person, if you have low self-esteem, you're going to eventually end up paralyzed, because eventually the way you view yourself is going to handcuff you to a lesser you. Don't miss this. The way you view yourself is going to handcuff you to a lesser you. So it's important to have confidence, and it's important to have self-confidence, right? That is not the enemy to God. The danger is ego. Ego is an exaggerated sense of self, right? Ego is an exaggerated sense of self. Now, sometimes, you ready? Ego and self-confidence will wear the same garments, but it will not be the same thing. There is a point and there is a place where you have to sell who you are. I'm discovering that. This last season I've gone through has taught me that there are times I walk in a room and I have to say, watch this, I'm not better than anybody, but you don't want to miss who I am. I'm not trying to be better than anybody. I'm not competing with anybody, but this is what I bring. I'm not saying nobody else brings it, but this is what I bring. And if you need this, then this is going to be beneficial to you. You got to be able, there will be moments when you will have to have the courage to say, this is what I bring to the table. This is what I offer. Look at me on a Monday doing something about success. Clearly, I believe that I understand what success looks like. Ego, however, competes, undermines, and degrades because it doesn't believe that on its own merit, it qualifies. So I have to make you look bad in an attempt to make myself look good. But when you have confidence, you don't have to compete against anybody, because you go into every situation knowing that if I just give my best, I'm going to be fine. AD Robinson traveled with me. Scott Cotton has traveled with me. And they can tell you, I've walked in environments where someone preached before me or spoke before me, or that I spoke before somebody else or presented before someone else. And I absolutely promise you, I've never been intimidated. You want to know why I've never been intimidated? Because I grew up in a home whereby my mother simply told me the promise of God on your life is that you shall bring many to righteousness. And watch this. And the burden of proof is not on you. The burden of proof is on the Lord. Do not miss this. The burden of proof is not on you. The burden of proof is on the Lord. So watch this. And so the weight of your success is on you giving God your absolute best, even in tough times, and God showing you that you're capable. Yes. Yes. So you have to control your ego. Ego draws attention. Confidence exudes strength. Ego beats on the table and says, watch me. Confidence says, watch me. Ego says, hey, here I am. Confidence says, I'm just going to be good at who I am, and I'm just going to be faithful to who I am, and I'm just going to do my thing, and guess what? And you can't deny me, and you can't avoid me. Just listen. In the words of one of my dearest friends, in an opportunity that's sitting before me, he said to people, just let John in the room and just let him talk. Bishop Rudolph McKissick said that to a group of people. Just let him talk. Here was what he was saying. Whoever he is, he will not dwarf in this moment. I need everybody to get this. Everybody get this. What confidence does is confidence lets you rise to the moment that is given to you. Confidence lets you rise to the moment that is given to you. That when a moment is given, your skill set, your preparation, and your sense of identity all merge, morph, and marry. And before long, you are in the moment and you made the moment work for you. Confidence. You got to balance confidence. Successful people know how to be confident without being egotistical. Because eventually, the ego destroys you. It does. Eventually, when your ego is out of control, it weakens you, it destroys you, it brings you into a place of constant insecurity. It causes you to trust no one, and ultimately you become a damaging person instead of an impactful person. Let me give you two more. I wanted to be different tonight. Here's another thing about success. And this is the strategic step. Build your life around a mission and a system that moves your vision. Build your life around a mission and a system that moves your vision. Several weeks ago, I told you all to go incorporate yourself. To go incorporate yourself, right? To create your own corporation, right? LLC, create your own corporation, right? I told people just go create a corporation, right? And you may say, well, I don't really know how to do that, and I don't know, and why would I do that? Because when God gives you an idea, you need a structure and a system to facilitate the idea. See, most people don't give themselves any credit for being great. I've discovered one thing. When people knock you down, don't agree with them. Fight back by moving beyond them. Don't agree with them. Fight back by moving beyond them. And so watch this. And so you got to build out a mission, and you got to build out a system that moves your vision. What my mission is E3, to empower, equip, to empower, educate, and equip. The mission of my life is to empower, educate, and equip. My vision is to impact the world based upon what my mother said to me. He said, bring many to righteousness. The system by which I now do it is through speaking, is through strategy development, and through building out companies that meet needs. Did you get that? Mission, empower, educate, equip. Vision, he shall bring many to righteousness. So I'm about impacting the world. And my goal is to become a global voice that will impact the world. How have I done it? I've developed, right now I have something called John Gunn's Leadership Institute, LLC, which is what E3 is under. And I've built out a number of different companies and entities in the pandemic to facilitate and to push forth vision. Where's your system? Have you thought through your life big enough? Where's your system? What is the structure of your life? Successful people are not throwing mud against the wall and hoping it sticks. They are intentional, right? Build your life around a mission and a system that moves your vision, which adds to the next thing. Everybody put in the threads, strategic. You become strategic. You work a plan. You work a plan. And you make sure that the plan you're working, you can connect all of the dots in the plan. You can see how doing this connects to this, and how this connects to this, and how this connects to this. And there's all this connection of your life going on. Now your relationships connect. Oh, now you start going, so that's why you're in my life. Oh, so that's why this person, oh, so that's why I'm in this group. Oh, so that's why I go to this church. Oh, so that's why I'm here. That's why I live in that. Yeah, When you start noticing the connecting of the dots, now your life makes sense to you. Oh, so that's why I went through that. Oh, so that's why that happened to me. Oh, so I need that to build on this. And then I become this. You got to become strategic by building out a life. And some of you may say, well, I may never do anything that requires a corporation. You don't know that. First of all, you don't know what God's going to say to you. And secondly, you don't know what opportunities are sitting there. All right. I'm going to give you two things, okay? I'm going to give 2 things. One is just a word. And I said it, and when I said it, it leaped at me. It leaped at me. You ready? Intentional. For the rest of your life, do everything on purpose. For the rest of your life, do everything on purpose. Intentional. You want to retire? Well, what are you intentionally doing? Right? I believe that my church is going to do everything, and they're doing everything they can for me, right? I do. But I also know that the world I cannot put on the world system. My and Pastor G's, final years, right? So I'm building some stuff out. I'm being intentional. You got to be intentional. I'm intentional in the things I say. I'm intentional in the questions I ask. I'm intentional in the relationships I'm building. I'm intentional in the places that I'm going. I'm intentional. I'm intentional. I'm intentional in what I'm reading. Okay. And I'm intentional in the stuff I'm taking up. E3, this Monday thing is purposeful. I believe God's building out my voice through this Monday experience. So there are days when, and my wife would tell you, there are days I'm tired. There are Mondays I got to push myself. But watch this. But because I'm intentional, I'm also motivated. Yes, because I'm intentional, I'm also motivated. And motivation comes when I recognize I got to be bigger than everything else. Here's the last thing. Here's the importance of success. The importance of success is that the people who are connected to you will like you better when you're happy fulfilling your identity. They will like you better when you're happy fulfilling your identity. And that's all I want to say. They will like you better. Now, I don't want you to miss what I said. They're going to always love you, but you will be more pleasant to be around. You will be more enjoyable to be with. And you yourself will give off a positive spirit to the people you love. Here's why. Because they will see someone who is walking out what they're created to walk out. E3 tonight is about being successful. And I could probably talk about this every week. And so I'm going to keep pushing you because I want you to believe in yourself. Listen, if you have never gotten an inspirational text from me, go right now to take your device and text or type E3 to 84576. It's on the screen. If you want to receive my inspirational texts every Monday through Friday, they are all written by me. I write them all, and you can become a part of the E3 family, right? So E3, text E3 to 84576. E3 to 84576, right? But here's the other thing. I'm about to drop in June during my 25th pastor anniversary week. I'm going to drop my new website. And so if you want to become an investor and help me build out the vision of E3 and build out the vision of John Gunn's Leadership Institute, and if you want to help me become this global voice, you can become an investor by going to Cash Apping and going to $E3JEG. $E3JEG. I've been challenging people to sow $56. And so if you've never considered being an investor in anything, you can become an investor. You can become an investor, an E3 investor, right? You can become an investor. I want to challenge you to become investors, right? All right. That's it. Join E3 right now. Join E3 right now, right? Join E3 right now. Join it right now, right? If you haven't joined it, join it right now. If you believe that we're doing good work and you're being helped, become an investor. And even if you've already given something or been an investor, maybe you want to sow something that could be helpful, okay? Join us right now and become an E3 investor. Love you all. Thank you all for being a part of the E3 movement. I trust you and I appreciate and value you. We'll talk to you soon. Take care.